Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning's Top 10, the podcast where we'll be listing what we think is the top 10 best or worst things in a specific topic. I'm your host, Laura Engstedt.
And I'm your co-host, Laura's mom, Steph.
Today we'll be talking about the top 10 best movies. So, just like our best movies, not the best, these don't have to be your best movies of all time. But, like, these are just our best movies. Like, what we think is, like, the top 10 best movies. But before we get started, let's remember that these are just our opinions and thoughts, so please be sure to try and be respectful of our decisions. Alright, now that that's out of the way, let's get started.
Cool.
Alright. Yeah, should I go first since you went first last time?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
we can.
So, my number 10 is the movie called Major League. So the first one. I recently just watched this movie, and I've only watched it once because we don't have it on our TV. But the one time I watched it, it was freaking hilarious, and I can relate to it because, you know, Major League, it's like Major League Baseball, but it was like a comedy, and it was hilarious. It wasn't the best comedy I've watched, but it was still pretty funny, and I could relate to it.
It is a good baseball movie.
Yeah.
I would say that. My number 10 would be Gone with the Wind.
Gone with the Wind. I've never seen that movie.
Which you should. Which everybody should. It is a classic movie. Clark Gable, and I mean, it's just amazing story, amazing costumes, everything. The whole. If you haven't seen it, I'd highly suggest watching it. Fabulous. It's very long.
Like how long?
Totally worth it.
Like how long?
Oh my god.
It's like
it has to be
5 hours.
like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh
but
my god.
It's so worth it. So worth it.
By the way, most of the stuff on my list is like comedies and like animation and baseball movies. So that's just the stuff I like. She probably has like romance and stuff on her list, but you know.
Well, I watch everything. I mean,
she watches everything.
You know, I've been exposed to all kinds of movies. I mean, even going back to, you know, movies made in the 30s and stuff. So, you know, this was very hard for me, just because there's so many movies that deserve to be on here. But, you know, really the way I thought of it when I was picking these movies is pretty much what if I'm scrolling through, you know, the TV menu of what's on TV, what will I put on without scrolling further?
That's what I did.
Yeah, I mean, these
just
are movies
instant.
that it's just, oh, this is on, I'm watching it. So, totally. All right, what's your number 9?
I said Nightmare Before Christmas.
This
has been one of my favorite movies of all time since I was like young, and I still freaking love it. Tim Burton, is that who made it? Tim Burton. Tim Burton did a fantastic job. Even though my mom said to stay away from Disney, I can't. And I know that's Disney. But it's just a classic, and I love it.
Well, I didn't tell you to stay away from Disney. If anyone knows me, Disney's a good cop out for me to say.
Yeah, because you're gonna be like,
you know, I mean, it was more challenging to take Disney out of the equation here. Otherwise, everyone would have gotten my top 10 Disney films. So, you know, there's no Disney on my list just because I tried to stay away from that.
But you would have picked, like, Mary Poppins, The Little Mermaid. Like, she would have picked all that.
Absolutely. So
what's
that'll be a topic for another day.
Another day. A top 10 Disney movies.
Yeah. But my number 9 was The Never Ending Story.
Oh, yeah, I was expecting that. I've never seen the movie. I've only heard the song, like, Never Ending Story. Like, I was only because of Stranger Things, because they sang it in one of the episodes.
That was fantastic.
And she freaked out. She was like, oh my god, it's Never Ending Story. Jesus.
Such a good movie. I mean, And you don't have, I mean, you don't have to be an 80s kid to appreciate that movie. I wish you would just watch it because you actually might enjoy the story, which is absolutely amazing.
Alright, so we have number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8, this is a very, underrated movie in my opinion. I picked 42, the movie 42, which is a Jackie Robinson movie. I picked 42 because they just represented Jackie Robinson so well in that movie, like what it was like back then for African Americans, especially in sports and all that. And I'm a big fan of Jackie Robinson. I'm not a fan of the Dodgers, but I do respect the Dodgers because of Jackie Robinson. That's the only reason why I respect the Dodgers. I don't like them as a team. I still think they're assholes, but I respect them because of Jackie Robinson.
There you go. My number 8 is Shawshank Redemption. I listen.
I don't even know what that. I don't know any of the movies that she mentioned so far.
And guys, believe me, there's many times where I ask her, "Hey, come and watch this great movie with me," and she snubs me. But Shawshank Redemption, that is to me, the best rendition of a Stephen King novel that I've ever seen. Obviously, the story is classic of really revenge, and it's just awesome.
The only
about friendship and go ahead.
Yeah, the only movie I know of Stephen King is The Shining.
Oh, that was good too.
But since I don't have any horror movies on my list, I didn't pick any because most of the horror movies I've watched so far are they're stupid. So it's Scream, oh my god, it's a murder. No, it doesn't see it it's stupid. I think the best movie I've watched that's horror is A Quiet Place, but I didn't put it on my top 10 list because I don't think it's a top 10 movie, but it's still a good movie. I still recommend watching it, but that's the only good horror film I've seen so far.
Yeah.
So were you gonna finish? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Alright, so my number 7 is The Rookie of the Year.
These are, you know what? I could have picked all of these. Maybe not in the same order as you put them in, but...
I love The Rookie of the Year. I love that a little kid made it into the major leagues and he was a pitcher. I don't know. That was just a hilarious movie. And I love that, they did it the way they did. I love that they did it, made it into a comedy and not just It's oh yeah, get me into the major leagues. I like that he was just making fun of the pitcher at that one scene where what did he say? He was pitcher, pitcher, at first because he got his first major league hit.
Yeah,
it was freaking hilarious.
It was good. It was a good one.
What was your number 7?
It's a good 90s movie. My number 7, going back to the 80s, is Pretty in Pink.
I've never seen Pretty in Pink.
Pretty in Pink, yes. It is, again, classic 80s movie, but again, I grew up in the 80s watching these shows. But this one was pretty hard because, I was really going back between Pretty in Pink and The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club. I did a skit on that.
Yeah. So, really, honorable mention to The Breakfast Club. But I would have to say, as much as I love The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink really tops it. Again, the music. Molly Ringwald. Who could really beat Molly Ringwald in the 80s?
Is it a musical? Is that what it is?
No, it's not. It's just 80s music, the clothes, the story, the love story of it all, and, a girl overcoming, bullying and things like that. So it's got some great storylines in there.
All right. I haven't done any of my honorable mentions yet because I have 3 on there. I'll do it at the end. My number 6 is The Money Pit. My mom reminded me of this movie, when we were making this list. And I love Tom Hanks. I respect Tom Hanks. He did great in Toy Story. He did great in Castaway. He did great in A League of Our Own. He did he's just a hilarious guy. I thought the Care Bears were coming. Like, he's freaking stuck in the ceiling. Like, he's hilarious, and I love him.
You do laugh from beginning to end.
Yeah.
In that movie, I mean, again, not a big blockbuster hit.
No.
I mean, but
it's still an amazing movie.
And a great funny movie. Number 6 for me, which again everybody should know, and going back to the 80s, Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
Again, music, story, Patrick Swayze, duh. Just again, overall great movie. Portraying this girl coming into her own in life, which was awesome.
You seem to like those movies a lot, like just like women and like girls coming into like their.
I do.
Some of those movies are great. I haven't seen like a lot of them, but
you should watch it.
You should watch it. No. All right, so do you want to go first on number 5?
Sure. My number 5 is A League of Their Own that you just mentioned.
Really?
Yes.
I put it lower.
Yes, A League of Their Own. I don't know if I'm having a theme here with this woman power thing, but obviously Tom Hanks, hilarious, but also the cast with Gina Davis and Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna. I mean, it again, just an amazing girl power movie. Of girls, rocking it on the baseball field and showing their stuff.
I like that the guy in the stands, he was like, girls can't play baseball. He was like, whoa, and then they threw the ball at him.
And it was based off of true events, not true people, but true events. And I thought it was inspiring, and that's amazing that those women back in the day played baseball in a skirt. That just blows my mind.
No, I would die. I'm a softball player. If I had to play baseball in a skirt or softball in a skirt, I would quit. Because even though in the fall, because I play fall ball too, I get bruises all over me because I'm a catcher.
Yeah, and when you're wearing pants and you're wearing your what do you call it? What is it?
Sliding shorts?
Yeah, your sliding shorts.
And I'm wearing all the gear, and I still get bruises from these pitchers. It's not that I'm bad. It's just that these the pitchers are bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if they're watching this or listening to this, but please work on. Please, I'm dying over here. I'm not going to be playing football this year, but
yeah. All right, number 4.
I didn't say my number 5.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, my bad.
My number 5 is Christmas Vacation.
Oh. That's a good one. That's a classic. That's a great Christmas movie. So definitely a movie that you have to watch during Christmas time. It's a must.
That has to be my favorite Christmas movie. I don't count Nightmare Before Christmas as a Christmas movie. I usually watch it during Halloween. I still watch it during Christmas, but I see it more as a Halloween movie. But Christmas Vacation, yes, top 5, baby. And I was going in between. Is The Money Pit better than Christmas Vacation? And I was like, no, I think Christmas Vacation is just more funny. I love it. I just like how I like how she says the Pledge of Allegiance, like the grandma, I pledge allegiance, while the sand, the plastic sand is just going across this guy. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
It's awesome. It is a great movie. Probably the best vacation movie. I mean, obviously, if you're familiar with that franchise of, Vacation, European Vacation, Las Vegas Vacation, all of those vacation movies, I would say that's got to be top of the list there. Agreed. All right, number 4.
What's your number 4?
My number 4?
It's going to be a romance movie.
No, you're wrong.
It's going to be a comedy. It's going to be a comedy.
It is a comedy.
I got it right.
It is a comedy. And my number 4 is Clue.
Clue? You put Clue at number 4?
Listen, this was really hard. Like I said,
Listen,
this was
I don't blame
really
her.
hard.
Listen, I don't blame her. I think I already know what her number one's gonna be because she hasn't said it yet, and I think it's gonna be her number one. I'm not gonna say it, but like I think I'm 100% sure that I know what her number one is going to be, and it's a romance movie.
Listen, this was very difficult to break this stuff
Flames
down.
on the side of my face.
Okay, but
breathing.
Clue is a go-to movie.
It is.
It is amazing, and it's something I never get tired. Again,
No.
the cast is phenomenal, and what I love about it is that it's such a high-powered, just cast, and they don't try to outdo each other.
No.
It all works together, and
One of her friends,
love it.
like one of her friends from work, like my mom when she's on the phone, she gets very like agitated.
sometimes, depending on
Sometimes,
who I'm
are
talking
you
to.
sure? So like one of her friends from work, we working at Temple, right?
I was working at Temple.
And she was working at like Temple University, and one of her friends like compared her to, what was her name?
Mrs. White.
Mrs. White. And it was the part where she was like, flames on the side of my face, breathing, like
Breathing,
breathing,
heaving.
And I just thought like that was just the best thing ever.
Yeah, totally.
And I think it's 100% accurate. Like I'm glad that her friend like said that because it's very accurate. Like that's her all the way when she's on the phone. Like shut up.
Not all the time.
Only when you're talking to.
Just when I'm frustrated.
Only when you're talking to mom and papa.
Nah.
You don't say, like, you don't yell. But like if it's somebody from work or like somebody from my school, like a counselor or something, she's like, she just flips.
No. That is an exaggeration.
You literally like yelled at my counselor in elementary school.
Well, she deserved it, but that's again a story for another time.
Yeah. Alright, so my number 4. I put Central Intelligence at number 4. I love The Rock and Kevin Hart. Like they are the best like comedy duo I've ever seen in my life.
I agree.
Oh my god! Every time somebody casts The Rock and Kevin Hart in one movie, I'm like, I'm gonna go see it. It's hands down. It's probably gonna be one of the best movies I've ever seen. So, fannies.
Yep. Love it.
And she's gonna get a fanny pack because we're running a race, and I literally quoted.
I have to get a fanny pack. I gotta hold my stuff.
I know, but I just remember like The Rock's like saying fannies in the movie, like, oh, this is the jammy
cool.
jams.
And I say that all the time.
This is the jammy jams.
The jammy jams.
All right.
All right, number 3. You want me to go?
Yeah, you're.
We're in our top 3 now.
Okay.
This is it.
This is the final countdown.
It's the fun. No, that's corny. Okay. My number 3 is The Birdcage.
The Birdcage. I knew she was gonna say that.
Guys, if you have never...
I've seen clips of it, and it looks like a great movie. We don't have it on our TV, but it looks like a very fantastic movie. It's about like lesbians, right?
No,
it's about
it's 2 gay men. Yeah,
Well,
living
yeah,
in
like,
Miami.
lesbians.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, gay. Wait, lesbians are for girls. Yeah, gay. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
It's for 2 gay men. They.
But who can beat Robin Williams and Nathan Lane? Again, just amazing. Absolutely. I saw that in the movies when it came out, and I laughed from the beginning to the end.
Didn't you see it like 4 times or something?
No,
Is that what you said? That was a different
I've
movie.
seen it a couple times in the movies, but I saw it and I laughed from beginning to end. And then I went to go see it again and realized how much I missed the first time that I seen it in movies because I was laughing so much. So it was pretty much every time I watched it, I was catching new things just because I was consistently laughing through the whole thing. I did not stop laughing.
When did that movie come out?
In the 90s.
Another 90s movie.
Another
See, the
90s.
90s knew what they were doing.
It was good. It was so amazing. Fantastic. I need to go to Miami just so I can experience that kind of nightlife, you know?
Well, you want to move to Florida, so you will get there eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah. So number 3. Can you try and guess what my number 3 is? You know it's a comedy.
Is it Jumanji?
Yeah, she got it right. It's Jumanji. Like the second Jumanji, like Welcome to the Jungle. That's like that one. I like the first Jumanji. Like I'm sure a lot of people are gonna be mad at me like that. Like you can't beat a classic. You can't beat the classic. But I'm sorry, but this one beat the classic.
Well, you know.
And I still love the first Jumanji. Like don't get me wrong, but I like this even more because it was just hilarious. And I like how they didn't try to remake the old story. Like they made it like a whole new thing.
I agree. I mean, again, you got your Kevin Hart and, you know, Dwayne Johnson happening. But I did appreciate, you know, because obviously Jumanji, the original Jumanji is a classic for me. And, you know, when they said that they were remaking this movie, I went into it very pessimistically. Like I just was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way they should not. They should have never even tried to touch this movie because it's a classic. But I agree that I was pleased that they didn't try to remake it. That they actually just continued the story in a modern day setting with really the board game becoming a video game and still, they gave an honorable mention to Robin Williams and his character in the movie, which I appreciated as well. But, I mean, you know, and I'll have to say Jumanji was in both because I'm always torn with Jumanji, but it's definitely an honorable mention. I did have it on my list, and I was struggling on where to put it. So it's definitely one of my honorable mentions because again both of them just classic.
Every time I watch the movie, like again this movie doesn't get old, like I can watch it over and over again and I would still laugh my ass off. But
agreed.
It's like, but every time I watch the movie we compare ourselves to the characters. Like I said Mom was Kevin Hart in the movie. Like if we were to go into this game, like she would be Kevin Hart. Like my weakness is cake. How is cake my weakness? Like, why am I running so slow? Like, I don't. And I was
freaking out.
Martha. And I was Martha because I'm just like so shy and awkward. I just relate more to Martha. Is that what her name was? Martha?
Yeah.
Was it Martha? Yeah. What was the other girl's name?
I
forget, but the other girl, she was...
The girl constantly on social media.
Yeah. Like, where's my phone? Like, that girl. She was, Jack Black played her in the actual game. And she said, Martha, come look at my penis. And then she was just like, no thanks. And I was just like, yes, that would so be me. No thanks.
No thanks. I'll pass.
Alright, so you're number 2.
Oh, see, I struggled, guys. Totally struggled. My number 2 is The Devil Wears Prada. Sorry, I know it sounds cheesy, but
girl power.
Again.
I've seen that movie. This is the first movie. No, it's not the first. This is the second movie I've seen, and that's on our list.
But you've seen it, and
I liked it.
You do. You like it. I mean, great, fantastic movie. Emily Blunt in this movie. She's like my spirit animal.
She's like a badass in that movie. Like, she stood up to that boss. Like, dang, like, yeah.
Yeah, well.
You go. I was like, yeah, you go, girl.
It was good. It was good. Love it.
She has a lot of girl power movies on her list. So
I do. I just realized that theme.
And I have a theme of comedies and baseball. Alright, my number 2 is A League of Our Own. Like
so
you
you
said,
put it up further.
I put it up further.
Okay.
Like, I just love Tom Hanks. I love him. He's just hilarious. And I think that was his best movie, in my opinion. Like, I can watch that movie over and over again, and it would never get old. And I'm sad that we don't have it on our TV, because I would just keep watching it over and over and over again.
Well, Tom Hanks, I mean, he's just an amazing actor to begin
Yeah.
with. And he could play anything. And really, I mean, any Tom Hanks film, it's amazing. You know, I mean, you think of everything that he's done over the years, and I can't think of one bad movie that he's been in. And he can play anything. He could be serious. He could be funny. I mean, he's just all over the place. He's versatile. It's awesome. Amazing actor.
All right, what's your number 2? Number dos.
I already said my number.
Oh yeah,
2.
you said your number 2. Whoops.
Yeah.
What's your number 1? Titanic.
What?
It's Titanic.
It's Titanic.
I knew it. I told you it was going to be a romance, and I knew what the exact one was.
Well,
She won't shut up about this.
This movie not only does it appeal to my love of history. Okay? I mean, I was always, very curious, loved to learn about the Titanic and what happened. I mean, any kind of American history in that way, but Titanic, obviously, always wanted to learn more, always wanted to see more. So when you bring that into into a romance of what it was, I mean, it's in my book, you can't beat that. It was amazing. That movie was amazing. And I know it was 3 hours long, but it did not feel like 3 hours. And this was a movie I saw in the movies again, probably 4 times.
That was the movie you saw 4 times?
Yes.
I don't know why.
I love it. I'm sorry. It has everything I love within the movie. I mean, just
Jack.
the clothes, the story, the history. It was awesome. I mean, I'll watch Titanic documentaries on TV. I mean, I love it. I love that stuff. It's good stuff.
She is obsessed.
I love it.
So, my number 1. Ready?
Dun, dun, dun.
What do you think it is?
I don't know. What is it?
Well, you know it's a comedy.
It's a clue.
Yeah, it's Clue.
So we actually agreed with 2 movies on our list.
Yeah, we just put them in.
Surprising.
We just put them in different spots.
That's pretty good.
Clue is the best movie I've ever seen. Sorry, hands down, best movie, best comedy I've ever seen.
That's not animation.
That's not animation. And it was really hard because I love animation, but it is really hard.
It was, and I will say, I already mentioned 2 movies that I had on my list that I kind of, as I was going through it, I took off. But I mean, again, honorable mentions that were really hard for me to take off. The Wizard of Oz. Hello, The Wizard of Oz. Classic movie. Loved it since I was a little kid. E.T. Saw it in the movies. Cried my eyes out. Will watch it every time and still cry my eyes out. This was hard. This was a hard one for me.
I didn't say my honorable mentions. My honorable mentions, jeez, was The Rookie, which is another good baseball movie that was a Disney movie. Really loved that movie. It had a lot of heart in it, and it was amazing. Then I put, it's an animation, and people probably say I'm weird that I like this movie, but the Mitchells versus the Machines. That was a fantastic movie, and it's on Netflix. It's a Netflix original, and the reason why I liked it was because Michael Rienda, who was one of the writers from Gravity Falls, He wrote some of the episodes of Gravity Falls. He wrote all the jokes in the Gravity Falls, and he was the director of this movie, and he did a fantastic job. And I also could relate to the main character in this movie because she's a filmmaker, and I'm a filmmaker, so we just had like that connection. And then the last one I put was Cruella, which was the movie the live action movie that is in theaters right now. That was the first Disney movie, the first live action too, first Disney movie and live action Disney movie that I just walked out of the theater and was like, holy shit, that was amazing. Like, she did, like, who played her again? Emma Stone, was that, or was that no, that was the other girl.
No, Emma Stone.
Emma Stone, I got it right. Yeah, Emma Stone did a fantastic job, and I respect Cruella 100% more than I did before. 10 times more. Oh my god. So I just love Cruella. I think that's it. Alright. That's all we got for this week's episode of the Morning's Top 10. Let us know what you think of our lists, and if you think any of our lists were accurate or not. If not, then be sure to tell us some of your thoughts. Let us know what your favorite movies are. But if you would like to follow us on any of our social medias, you can find us on Instagram at Mornings Top 10. And if you would like to follow us individually, you can find me on the YouTube channel Fireblade0617. You can also find me on Instagram at Fireblade0617 and on Facebook at Laura Engstedt. My mom sadly doesn't have any social media she'd like to share, but still be sure to give her the love and support she deserves for her awesome work. Anyways, thanks for listening, and we hope you all have a number one day.